What up, Shiro Fujioka with another Modbap Deconstructed. In this tutorial, we're going to be breaking down this patch using the Intellijel Palette case and the Elektron Digitakt. Alright, let's get into the tutorial. So we're going to start with our drum samples. Then we have a vocal sample, an audio tag, and one vinyl chop. Oscillator number 1, oscillator 2 for bass, and another version of 1. So we'll put the Digitakt in chromatic mode, and we're going to play oscillator 1, which is the wired anti-oscillator. And that's going into the disting, which is running a delay program. I'm just dialing up the feedback of the delay right now. So given that this is a small system, I like to patch, each module and get as much sound out of it as possible. So we're going to frequency modulate the oscillator to get some metallic textures out of it. And I think that's where this anti-oscillator shines. It has a very distinctive, metallic texture feel to it. So we can go to that more metallic FM tones back to something more melodic. I'm gonna dial down the feedback a little bit. So now we're going to go to oscillator 2, which is a saw wave going into a low pass filter. Low pass filters being modulated by 2 LFOs and frequency modulated by the anti-oscillator. So I'm just going to play some notes and kind of get a vibe going for the track. Alright, we're going to go to the next sound, which is actually just a copy of oscillator 1 going through the Pico effects to give it a different sound and texture. So I'm going to start by playing the first sequence, and we're just going to start adding elements so you can see how the track develops. So I'm going to start by dialing in the frequency modulation amount on the anti-oscillator to kind of move this track in a different direction. So now we're going to add the drums in. We had the modular, so now we're bringing in the BAP. This is what Modbap is, modular synthesis, and boom bap hip hop. So now we're going to dial down the FM amount, and then we're back to our melodic sequence that we started with. So let's keep adding elements and move this track forward. We're going to add the sample next. Now we're going to add in the other oscillator. Let's bring in that bass. Alright, let's bring in those drums.
Voltage controller.
So that's the basic idea of the beat. But I did want to let you guys know the origin of this beat started with this bass patch. I just kind of patched this up and put the Digitakt in chromatic mode, started playing in some notes. When I finally got a vibe, I recorded the sequence, added the drums, and that was the foundation for the beat. And I started adding the other elements of the samples and the other oscillator. And yeah, that's Modbap.
Voltage. Voltage controller.
Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just kind of perform this patch how I would if I was recording for a tape or rocking a live set. So I'm just going to start from scratch and mute everything out. Start with the one oscillator. And Digitakt doesn't have song mode, but like my brother said, I am song mode. So we're just going to rock. Alright, peace and love, y'all. Thank you.
Voltage controller.
I'm in a whole different space, call it Andromeda. Battlestar Galactic with the ratchet Abulama.
Voltage controller.